Somebody talking about my audio ain't working. Man, that's y'all cheap phone. Everybody else can hear me. Hey, yeah, they cheap phone ain't working. Somebody talking about my audio ain't working. Man, that's y'all cheap phone. y'all, y'all audio ain't working. What's the word for this evening? What's the word for this evening? Pay your tithes. Yeah, pay your tithes. That's the word for this evening. Pay your tithes. Waiting for my woman to get out the tub. She in there soaking. Gonna be in there for an hour. Man, look, I've been putting them yard signs all over town. I done got a call. Guy didn't want to pay. How many subs? How many subs do I need from what before I start making money? YouTube, look, YouTube changed it. All you need is 500 subs. Now you start getting a check. 500 subscribers, and you can start getting a paycheck. Look, my mind made up. From here on out, all the YouTube money, I'm gonna just put it in an account. I ain't gonna touch it. I'm gonna just put it in an account. I'm gonna just let it pile all the way up to the ceiling, if I can. Yeah, if I can, I'm gonna let it pile all the way up. It just pile all the way up. I'm trying to see something here. What's this? Pin to live stream. What are they talking about? Pin what live stream? How many rollovers you got? You talking about clients? I normally keep the clients except for the ones that either died or done moved out. Look at Nicole talking about say my name, say my name. Listen, we don't chant nobody else's name. Listen, in my eyes, there is no celebrities. Everybody is equal. Michael Jackson can walk right in this room and I'm gonna break his jaw for breaking in my house. Look, y'all know that rapper Young Blue? Do y'all know that rapper Young Blue? I seen him in Walmart a little while back. Cause look, I don't know if I told y'all this. The rapper Young Blue, he had bought a house in like North and like what? This is YouTube or Netflix on my TV. What's wrong? It's not working? No. What's wrong with it? Is it on watching the videos on YouTube? It's on Netflix. Oh. I don't know why I look different. Listen, the rapper Young Blue, right? He had bought a house. It was in between, I want to say, it was in between Pass Christian and I think Wood Market. You get off the interstate and you go straight up. And he was stayed off to the left. He had probably like 5 acres cleared off. He had a house dead on the center, right? And I got a call to go out there and give a quote on the property. This back when I had like 100 5-star Google reviews. And I'm gonna be honest, when I went out there, looked at that property, you can feel something wasn't right out there. When I got out there, it just felt like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna tell you what it felt like when I went out there. I went out there and it just didn't feel right. It felt evil. It had a full basketball court, it had a pool, and it was just wide open. The house backed up to the woods. It wasn't fenced off or nothing. So I looked at the property. I was like, man, here's what I told him. I said, look like your property gonna hold water. You might need a tractor. It's something I can't do. So I want to say about 6 months later, I'm scrolling on Facebook, scrolling. He ended up selling the house. I'm gonna find some pictures and if I can remember that address, I'll put it up there. He had when he sold the house, it was a guy on Facebook had bought the house, posted it on his page, and he tagged Young Blue in it. And Young Blue was like, I'm glad to see my house in somebody else's hands. I remember buying his house. Y'all can go on his matter of fact, y'all can go on his Facebook page on when Young Blue bought that house. He bought that house and he posted it, and I think he called it Vandross Estates. It's a Mexican building. He wasted a lot of space when he bought the house. It wasn't a celebrity's house. It was a man been working on a job 40 years and he got all that retirement and built him a house. That's basically what the house was. So and I said to myself, I knew something wasn't right. It just something wasn't right out there. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Blue collar BG sit in at $4.99. Man, I appreciate that, man. I'm struggling over here, man. I appreciate you, man, looking out for me. I really appreciate that. But look, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. But look. So look, it is what it is. See if I can make my way to the barber shop tomorrow. See if it can give me a cut. Get on over there to the barber shop. Make my way to the barber shop. Oh man, I'm tripping. There we go. Yeah, man, I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling. Trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out. I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Struggling, Larry. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Yeah, yeah. All money definitely not good, man. It's crazy to say when you come from nothing, but so true. Yeah, man. People think when you have certain people that pay you a good amount of money and they start thinking that they own you. They'll start. You gotta understand, lawn care is kind of like bottom of the barrel. It's like this guy's uneducated. He gonna do what we want. Like I had a guy today. I had a guy today. He told me. He said, "Man, I called a guy to look at my property. He said he can cut it for $50. Can you price match?" He said, "Can you price match or can you beat him?" I said, "Why don't you just go with him?" Well, I thought I can get it cheaper. So you called a guy. This is what I'm talking about. Lawn care. Like, what the flip are you gonna do with $50? What is you gonna do with $50, man? What you gonna do with $70 to run equipment? I said, man, you didn't want to just go with him. You mean I mean he gonna cut it for $50, and I can't beat that. My minimum is 70, and even then, what the flip can you do with $70? Well, I just figure, listen. That's like the lady today. This lady stopped me. I'm working. She stopped me. Hey, she started telling me, "Oh, we got a barbecue grill, we got a fish tank, we got a floodlight." What it was, she seen me with my dump trailer and wanted me to throw all that junk she got on the back of my dump trailer. I don't go around picking up people garbage. I'm not the scrap man. I don't ride around picking up people's scraps. Hey, look, yeah. I remember I was working with this guy, right? We was doing some work. This was so disrespectful to me. The homeowners had a box. You know how you go to Popeyes and buy a family meal? They had a box of leftover Popeyes. And they said, "Hey, y'all can have that chicken if you want it." And the guy was like, "Okay." And when we left, he put the chicken in the truck. I said, "Man, you gonna eat that?" He said, "Nah, I just didn't want to tell him I didn't want it." I'd have told him. I don't take nothing from clients. They offer me water. No, I'm good, thank you. Snacks. No, I'm good, thank you. Only thing I want you to do is pay this invoice. Man, I don't take nothing. I don't take nothing from clients. I don't do none of that. I remember one time I left my water at the house. I'm talking about, man, my mouth was so dry. I had about another hour left on this lady property. "Do you want some water?" I said, "No, I'm fine." Man, I about died. Drink from y'all. Well, especially when I know I'm tearing your doggone mouth out. Man, nah. Man, I need a haircut, man. I'm starting to look like a junkie. I'm starting to look like one of them guys that smoke weed. And look, these guys today think the weed they smoking ain't laced. The weed y'all smoking today is lace. And guy gonna tell me, Gibson, I smoke weed every morning. You're addicted. That's what it is. You're addicted. You're starting to become a junkie. One of the supervisors at my job is a junkie. When he talk, he got veins popping all outside of his neck. He a junkie. He can't sit still. He run up and look, his man's a junkie. The supervisor I work for, he's a clean cut guy. Look, the supervisor I work for on the job, he's a clean cut guy. He got a wife, he got kids. Look like he probably go to church. I never heard him cuss. He's honest. I kind of wish I was working for the junkie. If I was working for that junkie, man, I wouldn't. Man, I miss every Friday. I miss Friday, and I wouldn't feel bad about screwing the company. Man, this guy's so nice. I like, man, bro, I'm screwing this dude. He say, I appreciate your opinion on weed. It's not even weed anymore. I haven't smoked that crap since 2005. The stuff everybody's smoking today is laced. These guys are junkies and they don't know they're junkies. See, I'm just saying it straight and raw. Instead of saying, y'all be careful, man, on that gas, man. It ain't how it was back in 2009, back in 2005. Man, they got crystal meth in some of that weed y'all smoking. Y'all guys are junkies, man. You guys are turning into junkies. They got crystal meth. They got what's that other stuff? I know a guy personally smoking weed and lost his doggone mind. He had to check his behind in the rehab until he can detox. I knew then. I said, man, that ain't weed no more. That happened about a good 10 years ago. I'd say about a good 10, 12 years ago. So about what, 2000, about 16, 17? No, about 2000, about 15, 14. He was smoking that gas and he lost his mind. Weed make you a junkie. Yeah, weed is the new crack. They can't even eat it before they smoke. They can't eat before they smoke. Fentanyl, that's what it is. Fentanyl. Weed is for Kyle say, would you rather detox from YouTube videos or from weed? Hey Kyle, you have never gained nothing smoking marijuana. You have never gained nothing. Yet on YouTube, you can educate yourself in another language. You can learn another trade. You can watch YouTube and put a new radiator on your car. You can watch YouTube and learn how to change the ballast in your electrical light in your kitchen. You can watch YouTube and learn many different things. Or you can be a creator on YouTube and get a paycheck every month instead of being a consumer. Only thing weed does is fry your brain cells where you can't remember nothing. Stop making excuses and just say, man, I really just want to be a junkie. I just want to stay home every day and just smoke and smoke and smoke like a chimney. And the sad reality is when you stay home every day and smoke like a chimney, nobody's going to pay your bills. And you're going to be out on the streets. And then you're going to be trying to break into my truck. And I got to put about 10 bullets in your behind to stop you. That's the only thing that's going to stop you. And after I put them 10 bullets in your behind, you're standing in front of God. And it's over with then. All because you couldn't stop smoking weed. If you could do it all again, what would you do different? That's what you need to ask them weed heads, man. If you could do it again, man, would you fire up? I never fire. Listen, I remember like it was yesterday. Guys I went to school with used to look. You got to understand. I went to school in the ghetto. I went to school in one of the look in Jackson County, Mississippi. I went to one of the poorest and worst schools in the world. I remember they had a so-called gang fight, and all it was a bunch of project babies with no daddies fighting at school about this project is better than that project. All of you guys are on Section 8 food stamps and ain't no daddies in the house. It was about 30 of them little bad kids. All we had was like we had three what you call it? I want to say security guards at school. That's all they were. They couldn't even make it to be a real police officer. So they had to settle and be a security guard at school. So listen, it was a big gang fight. I remember them guys fighting. I said, golly. I said, look, I told myself, I told myself when I graduate this struggling school, I will never come back. And listen, I went to the school. Listen, y'all can Google this junk. Moss Point High School. That's that school y'all claim Devin Booker go to. Devin Booker do not come from Moss Point. His father came from Moss Point. Devin Booker was all the way up north somewhere. His daddy seen, man, my son about to go pro, so I need to put my school on. His daddy brought his Devin Booker daddy brought him all the way from up north to play for Moss Point for 2 years. I want to say his 11th and 12th grade year or his 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. And Moss Point got all that publicity, and nobody told nobody that we got the worst math tests and reading tests in Jackson County. That is a struggling school. That is a struggling, poor school. That's what that is. And 90% of the kids that go to that school do not have a daddy in the house. Now back to my now look, when I was going to that school, I said, man, if I ever survive and get out of here, I will never come back. I remember sitting in homeroom listening to guys talk about how they shot up somebody's house. The first time I seen somebody get shot, I was in middle school, and one of my classmates shot the guy. It was him and all his little bad cousins. None of them had daddies, and they was selling weed to some Mexicans. You gotta understand where I lived at. Where I lived at, when you come on my street and go into that curve, look, when my daddy was clean, you understand, my dad's on drugs. When my daddy was clean, whenever a car would go park in the curve, he would grab his gun and run in the backyard and start shooting his gun. And those people would get out of that curve. You had prostitution going on back there in that curve. You had drug deals. You had all of that. When a car would pull up in that curve, you got to understand the way our house set up. I'm about to explain it to y'all. I'm going to show y'all how our house was set up. And I'm going to show you the kind of stuff my daddy used to do. Show you. Let me show y'all how our house was set up. All right, let me show y'all something. I'm going to use this bed. My comment section ain't working. I don't know if it froze. Let me see. He talking about clean my glass. Flip this junk. He worried about my glasses not being clean. He's struggling behind. He's struggling. He's struggling. Worried about my glasses not being clean. He's struggling. Let me show y'all what we working with. Let me show y'all how our house was set up. Man, I need some more stuff to kind of lay this out. Hey, let me show y'all something. All right, this is how our house was set up. Let me flip this around. This is how our house was set up. This was our house. This was the fence that went all the way around the house. And I used to play basketball in my driveway. Now, this was a fence. The curve was right here. This was a curve. People would pull up in this curve right here. And like I say, they would have prostitution, drugs, all of that right here in this curve. Now, look, I remember this like it was yesterday. And you got to understand, all of this was nothing but wood surrounded our house. So when somebody would go in that curve and park, my father would go out the back door, come right here in this curve, and start shooting his gun on the ground. He'll, point on the ground. And then get on up out of there. All right. I remember playing basketball outside. Hold on, let me get some more stuff. I remember playing basketball outside. And it was, like I say, it was a kid I went to school with and all his cousins, and nobody had a daddy in the house. I was outside playing basketball. And I remember seeing his car. Windows rolled down, rap music blast, and there was a car following them. I was sitting here playing basketball in the 7th grade. I turned around. I said, they up to no good. They drove that car in the curve. My daddy went home. My dad was in the house asleep. All you heard, I'm standing right here. All you heard was yelling. And you heard, bow, bow. This car came backing up full speed. Again now, all of this was woods and all of this was wood. So everybody came back here and done their dirt. That car came backing up and boom, tore our mailbox up and stopped right here. And I remember it was a black guy in the back seat, two Mexicans in the front. The black guy was in the back seat punching the driver in the head. And my bad classmate and all his cousins came backing back up full speed. You heard it again. Bow, bow, bow. So then my classmate cousin jumped out the car, jumped in the car, sped off. The two Mexicans got robbed with a dope. One of them jumped out, looked at me, said, call the police. I'm in shock. The other Mexican get out, limping, blood all over the place, and he fell in the ground. And my pops come out. Now, my pops had been drinking. He was drunk this night. He come out. He fixing to kill the doggone Mexican, told him to get rid of the gun. I'm sitting here stuck. I'm sitting here stuck and scared. So 911 finally show up. They asking me, what happened? What y'all think I told them folks? I said, man, I don't know. I ain't seen nothing. That's what I told them. And look, listen. That happened on a Friday. I'm back outside playing basketball by myself Saturday. Guess who come rolling back through by himself? My bad classmate. And when we get to school Monday morning, this is what he do when I walk by him. It bad behind had two gold teeth right here. A middle school kid with two gold teeth. Boy, he had me scared. Boy, I was scared. Look, I seen him in the hallway. I did it. He said, yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. My younger sister was cool with all these ghetto fatherless kids. She knew all of them. So I was known as Faith's brother. That's Faith's brother. Man, look, I said, man, these kids bad. Man. I don't know, probably somebody down there killing themselves. Look, I said, man, these kids bad. I said, boy, I ever get out of this school system, I ever get out of this city, I will never come back. The only reason I go back now is to cut my parents' grass. And if they ain't had grass, I'd never go back to that struggling side of town. And guess what? All them people still there. Them sons, them fatherless sons, 90% of them in jail. The rest of them, they still in that ghetto town, raising their children in that ghetto town. It's same scenario. They living with their grandmama, they baby mama in the projects, and they son growing up in the project. Flip them struggling people. I don't care nothing about that town. Yeah, I don't go back over there. Flip them folks, man. And look, they do a class reunion every year. I don't never go to that junk. Stay all struggling behind them. Man, struggle, love. Yeah. Huh? That's outside. Would you want me to jump in my truck and go down the street, see what's going on? No, it's not. That's outside. You want me to go jump in the truck, go see what's going on down the street? I'm telling you, that's outside. No, that's somebody going crazy down the street. Probably done came in, probably done got off work early, and his wife done had somebody else in the house, and he down there flipping out. They going to come and ask you again now that you told me that on YouTube. Ask what again? That Mexican dude didn't die. He's struggling behind, lived to see another day. He said he graduated from Moss Point in 98. Man, listen. Flip Moss Point. I came out in '07, flipped that struggling school. And look, I was failing math. Listen. In ninth grade, they had me in pre-algebra. I passed with an 86. In 10th grade, they put me in Miss Johnson class for Algebra 1. She passed me. 11th grade year, they put me in Algebra 2. I failed a whole year. She passed me again. Senior year, they got me in here for calculus. When I walked in that lady classroom in 12th grade year, I looked straight at her and said, let's just do what we've been doing the last 2 years. I failed all year. She passed me again. Flip that struggling school. I couldn't get no help with nothing. Doggone gang members walking up and down the hallways claiming blood, Crip, and GD. Flip them dudes, man. Man. And then look, listen. I remember one of them fake gang members stole my cell phone. I ain't do nothing about it. I let it ride. I seen that dude at the gas station about 12 months ago. Oh, hey, say, bro, ain't you Micah? Look. I was walking out the gas station. This is a little while back. I had my beer. I walking out the gas station. I seen him when he got out the car. I said, he say one word, remember, break his jaw. Cause this ain't 2005, 2006 no more. I'm coming out the gas station. I walk right past. So, say fam. I said, what's up? Ain't you Micah? Huh? What you say? No, my bad, man. I thought you somebody else. Man, I don't know who you is, man. Don't stop me. I was itching for his behind to say something. Yeah, man, please. They can't. Hey, look. Some of them guys used to be able to fight. Some of them dudes used to be able to fight. Man, please, y'all been smoking weed 10 years. Let's see if you can fight now. Hey, guys struggling. Them guys still in Moss Point struggling. They can't afford to move over here. They want to move struggling guy. Mm. Oh man, it's good and gold right here. Mm. Ain't nothing like a cup of cold Joe. Why are you out of the bed? You get out of that bed again. Get in the bed and don't get back out of it. Mm. Installing patience. Man, this juice good to go. Yeah. That struggle in school. I don't know how we got off on topic. That doggone struggle in school. My wife gonna buy this great value juice. Man, I don't live in Mile Point. Put nothing in my refrigerator that say great value. I am above that type of living. Great value. Hey, not great value. I ain't no great value. That's just for people that's struggling. Buy no great value. Get the real stuff and be done with it. What was we talking about before I went off on a tangent? Mm. Yeah, this is nice right here. Oh man. Hey, look, my sisters go to homecoming each year. Buddy, he said he graduated in '98. You probably know my sisters. They was a set of twins that used to wear skirts and dresses to school. He probably know who I'm talking about now that I just said that. He probably know what I'm talking about. I just said that. 98, yeah. Yeah, he probably know 'em. He probably know I got a set of twin sisters that wore dresses and that wore dresses to school. Yeah, ain't running from nothing. What ended up happening to the person you were working with? Somebody, the one I was working with on that job, they fired him Thursday. They fired him yesterday, walked him out the gate. They fired him, walked him out the gate. They couldn't weld. That's what I tell y'all. When them welders leave Ingalls Shipbuilding, they can't go nowhere else and get a job. You was talking about the struggling weed smoking peasants. Yeah, man, them guys want to smoke weed. Oh man, it's the good life right here, man. Take your black behind to work, pay your bills, sleep with one woman every night, and be there to raise your kids and flip the rest. It don't even matter. They flip the rest. Yep, so I've been at my old job the past 2 days training my second replacement for maintenance director. What's the matter, Matt? They booting you out? Yes, sir. They booting them out. Never help the company train your replacement. I don't never help train my replacement. I leave them in the jam. Say, bro, you quitting? Yep. When we give you some more money, man, we can get you to stay. You can't pay me $100 an hour. The flip, I'm gonna stay on your job for struggle, love. Listen, the only thing a man need to do is get up, take his behind to work every day, pay his bills, sleep with one woman, raise his kids, and flip the rest. What is the game plan for the business since you have all girls? I'm gonna work till I drop dead. I'm gonna be edging somebody yard and I'm gonna drop dead in the street. Flip it. Man, I don't care. Flip it. Hey, look. Listen, I can't control life and death. That's one thing I don't worry about is you saying that a child abduction? That's what that was. That's a man took his own kid. That's all that is. No, it was a child. It said it's in Vicksburg, Mississippi. It said a man took a 6 month old baby with a blanket and a diaper, and he left on foot. That's the man. That's the baby daddy. What happened? He didn't sign the birth certificate, so he ain't got no say so. The woman get all the say because he didn't sign the birth certificate. No, we had got a child alert. A child was just abducted. There was a child alert abducted, but it was like 3 hours from me. It was a child abduction about 3 hours from me. A guy abducted a 6 month old wearing a diaper and a blanket, and he left on foot. That's the baby daddy. See, this is what I'm telling y'all. That's the baby daddy. That's all that is. And he didn't sign the birth certificate, so he don't have no right to the child. And it's up to the mama can do whatever she want to do. She gonna get his behind locked up for 30 years for child abduction. Well, it's my child. It don't matter. Lock his. I bet he was a black dude. Lock his struggling behind up. How would he get for not signing the birth certificate? All of my children have my last name. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it. He said I put my notice in 6 months ago, and they still letting me work there anytime I want to. It's crazy that they let me do what I want. I got them in a tight spot. Yeah, he got him over there. You might well tell him you want to raise, not Matt. You're right. I ain't no man stealing a baby that's not theirs. Yeah, man. I don't anybody. You think somebody a 6'1" dude, 6'1"? You think somebody 6'1" going to kidnap a 6 month old? Do you know how much a 6 month old cry? That's that. Look, that woman been keeping that man from that baby for months. Look, I had a friend. I had a good friend did that. Let me tell you how dumb this friend I had. Hey, y'all, listen. I'm about to explain to y'all, and I hope he watch it because the people that know him know me, and they probably watch it. I want y'all to look. Y'all can go ahead and screen record this right now and send it to him. I'm gonna tell him how dumb he is. Say, bro, you remember you drove from Mississippi to California? You remember you drove from Mississippi to California to go see your ex-wife and she had your child, but your name wasn't on the birth certificate, so you didn't have no rights? And you're struggling behind, drove all the way to California to see your baby, and you snuck out of that house with that baby and you drove all the way back to Mississippi. Your dumb struggling behind drove all the way back to Mississippi with no diapers, no milk, no wipes, no nothing. And you took that baby over there to that lady house and you went back to the shipyard, started working. And the FBI pulled up at your babysitter house, took the baby, and the FBI pulled up at the shipyard and put listen, y'all, listen. He was working in a wild way. His dumb struggling behind. Let me show y'all what he was doing. He's struggling. Boy, when I heard this story, I couldn't stop laughing at his dumb struggling behind. Let me show y'all what he did. He was at work at the shipyard. He was a doggone electrician. Electricians don't know nothing. That's why they fooling with wire. His struggling behind was doing this right here. He was working in a hallway at work. He was working in a hallway at work, hooking up a light. Look, he was hooking up a light. The FBI came with guns drawn. Get on the ground. He had to do this. Look, he was hooking up that light. He had his earbuds in. Listen, he had earbuds with music playing so he didn't hear them. Look, he up there hooking up a light with his earbuds in. FBI done came, put guns on him, but he don't hear them. So he on the ladder hooking up. Man, that FBI guy took the butt of that gun. Listen, when you standing up on a ladder, look, the back of your knee right here, if somebody hits you right there in the back of your knee, you're going to go down. He's standing up down that ladder, hooking that light up. That FBI dude took the butt of that gun and hit it. Boy, he fell off the ladder. That man put his knee in his back just like this, and they cuffed him and took his behind in jail. He kidnapped his baby. His struggling behind. His struggling behind name wasn't on the birth certificate. That's what happened. That's the sad reality. It all started with weed. It all started with weed. That's where it started, with weed. What's up? Why you out to bed? Turn this fan off. Okay, we're getting to bed. Huh? Is the TV still on? We'll go watch TV. Y'all ain't got school tomorrow. Yeah, man, ain't nobody taking no baby that ain't there. Yeah, bro, that's a real story. That's a real story. Happened to a dude I grew up with. His mind gone because he smoked weed. His mind, he ain't got no brain cells. He thought it was smart for him to drive way to California, just put his baby in the backseat of the car and just drive. How dumb he is. No car seat. No car seat. Just put the baby in the backseat of the car and just drive. You know what the girl daddy said? The girl daddy said, the girl daddy had to calm her down and say, listen, don't panic and call 911. That's it. He said, because the only thing's going to happen, he's going to get into a high speed pursuit and he's going to crash the car. Let him run. Look, just give him enough rope, he going to hang himself. They let that man drive all the way back down to Mississippi. That man filed a report with his police chief buddy, and they sent the FBI down here. And guess what? Brought the baby back safe. See what happened when you smoke weed? You can't think things through. When you smoke weed, your brain cells are fried and you can't think things through. You make irrational decisions because you don't have any brain cells. And that's what happened to him. He didn't have any brain cells. His brain cells were through. I don't know where that guy at today. Don't even care. I don't care if he's living out his truck. If I ride by him tomorrow on the side of the road with a cup of change, I'm gonna jump out the truck, take his change, and pull off. He would never know his child. Man, somebody living like that. It all started with weed. You're gonna turn into a junkie. You know what I'm trying to get y'all to see? You guys are smoking fentanyl, man. You guys, that's why they call it gas. That's why they call it gas. You guys are smoking fentanyl. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's because he wasn't number one in his area. He ain't got time to build no business. That man ain't had time to build no business. He's struggling behind. What? You don't know what a plumber is? You're gonna need one. You buy a house. Go ahead, put that cover on my bed, bro. Spread the cover out. Hey, we watching the movie or what? Huh? All right. Close my door when you leave. How many leaf signs I put out? Over 50. Hey, look, they call it. They just don't want to pay. I mean, you're removing leaves for 350, right? Now, technically, I'm removing leaves for 450. The 350 is to get you to call me. Yeah, how many leaves you got? Man, we got a bunch. It ain't gonna be 350, big dog. 350 is a scam. I'm scamming you guys to give me the call. Leaf removal price start at 450 and go up. Start at 450 and go up. Anything under that, man, get your struggling behind out of here. Get your struggling behind out of here. I wonder if them two people my supervisor fired gonna have another job before Christmas. That's a job right now hiring welders for $30 an hour. They can get on Monday morning for $30 an hour. You got to pay the welder. You got to pay the welder. They're gonna run them off again. You got to be able to lay down a solid pickup free bead. You got to be able to lay it down. You got to be steady, run your pass. Shoot. Oh man, that's the way to stay in business is pricing right and not accepting discount. What's your minimum for lawn care in 2026? 70, 70, 75, somewhere up in there. Do you think you'll get a debris loader if the situation is right? I think last time I priced them debris loaders, it was like $9,000. And I want to get one, but I'm just tired of spending money, bro. I'm tired of spending flipping money. I'm just tired of spending money. He said they'll be unemployed in the new year. Gibson, Louisiana. No, I stay in Mississippi. Why don't you jump out and try hardscaping? Here's the problem. Listen. Here's the problem. If I start doing hardscaping, what's the first thing you gonna go do when you start doing hardscaping? You either gonna buy a skid steer. You either gonna buy a mini skid steer, or you're gonna end up buying a mini excavator. That's another 30, $40,000. So all right. So then when I run out and buy a mini skid, then what I'm gonna say that, man, I need both. I need a skid steer and an excavator. Then I end up spending another $100,000. You guys have to understand, I am a solo guy. I don't want big crews because with big crews, I I got to go buy some land. Then I got to build a shop, and then I got to run through 100 people before I find good people. Y'all got to understand, I'm pushing 40 years old. I can't do this another 20, 30 years, man. I'm running out of time and I want to be able to enjoy my life and live. I'm tired of taking my money, putting it back into the business, playing it safe, saving. I bought an $18,000 zero turn this year. I bought a $2,000 transfer tank. Amongst everything that tore up this year, I got a brand new AC unit in my house, inside outside unit. I got 7 people to feed. I'm sick and tired of spending money. I want 1 year where I can just stack everything that comes in. The year before that, I bought a doggone another truck. Year before that, I bought a dump trailer. Year before, it's just always something. I'm tired of buying equipment. Get a powerhouse loader. It works like a billy goat and it's 1900. That's fine, but when the powerhouse loader go down, who's going to fix it? If I buy a leaf loader, I have to buy a Skag leaf loader because nobody sells leaf loaders in my area. And my Skag dealer is awesome at working on things, so I would buy a Skag leaf loader because my dealer is a Skag. It seems like hardscaping is a heavy investment as far as equipment and labor from what my friends in the business tell me. That's exactly what I'm saying. Margin's not as big as in that business. Gross profit, but actually making money is low. I just find the sweet spot of making $1,000 a day and going back to the house. When the summer is rolling, I can make $1,000 a day cutting grass and take my black behind home, and I'm a build on top of that. My plan for the 2026 season is to not take on no commercial work and only residential work and charge a premium price. I'm not planning on hiring nobody. My goal is not to push through last year, making 1,200, 1,400 a day landscaping. I'm gonna do $1,000 a day cutting grass, and I can be home by 3:45. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Flip y'all. Friday and Saturday is for landscaping or junk like that. And if I run into a big landscaping job, that's why I just opened back up my Facebook account. Micah Profitable Gibson is my Facebook account. The only reason I just logged back into my Facebook account is because when big jobs pop up, I need to be able to make a post hiring laborers, $17 an hour, cash at the end of the day. I can hire 4 of y'all, get the job done, and fire 4 of y'all. Flip that. Screw that. That's right. That's right. Only premium customers that can actually pay the price and flip the rest. I'm not doing a one time cut. I don't give a flip if you got a barbecue going. I'm not coming to one time cut on the barbecue. Well, man, I double charge him and then get over there and bust a window. No, if you ain't on my schedule, if you cannot commit from March to October, I don't want you. Yes, I will give you a trial cut if you're willing to get on the schedule from March to October. If you don't like the first cut, let's break ties. Don't tell me you like the first cut and then, man, can we skip this week? I'm gonna skip you and I'm gonna block your number. Yeah, Matt say I do simple landscaping, but hardscaping for a solo guy seems like good way to wear out fast and lose money. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Are you trying to have more weekly yards to preserve your mowers or not have to put them in the shop? I take weekly or bi-weekly. I don't care. It does not matter to me. I do anyone. Set it up there. It don't matter to me. Trying to trying to see. Trying to see. But man, yeah, that's I'm not doing, man. I'm not running around like a chicken with my head come off. Chicken with my head cut off. Yes, plumbing is a good career to get into because there's only 5 plumbing guys in my area. My minimum, Dr. Rick, is $70. There's only 5 plumbing companies in my area. 2 of them is big, the other 3 are solo guys. And on your terms, if they can't follow the rules, fly, hey, they can kick rocks. $1,000 a day, that's enough money. HVAC is where the bread at. Dr. Rick, the bread is wherever you make it at. But yes, it's a guy in my area. He's a solo AC guy. He do about $280,000 a year solo. That's a good living. That's a good living. All right, give me a question I can put on top of my live for people to answer. You heard me? They got a sticker I can post a question. Plumbing versus HVAC is like lawn care versus hardscaping. It's all of them. How do you plan to make more on social media? I'm trying to get my wife YouTube channel jumping. I'm trying to get her to post every day. Yeah. What happened?